exploring the importance of counterfactual reasoning, a algorithmic auditing perspective.
Welcome to the Universal Principles podcast. Today we're diving into a fascinating area, counterfactual reasoning. It's all about asking what if to assess fairness. Think alternate realities for decision-making. With us today is an expert in algorithmic auditing. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. What's fascinating about counterfactual reasoning within algorithmic auditing is that it provides a structured way to identify bias. We're essentially stress testing algorithms to see if they treat different groups equitably. We can't just look at the data, we have to imagine different realities.
Algorithmic auditing sounds complex. Can you give us a bit of context on how counterfactual reasoning is used?
Certainly, at a higher level, counterfactual reasoning helps us establish causal inference. It's not enough to just observe a correlation, we need to understand if one thing caused another. In algorithmic auditing, this means asking, did this algorithm's decision cause an unfair outcome?
Could you walk us through a concrete example of counterfactual reasoning in action?
Let's take loan applications. If an algorithm denies someone a loan, we use counterfactual reasoning to ask, would this applicant have been approved if they had a different zip code, keeping everything else the same? If the answer is yes, that suggests potential geographic bias.
That makes sense. So, it's about isolating variables to see where the unfairness creeps in.
Exactly. Another example is in hiring. If a candidate isn't selected, we ask, would this candidate have been hired if they had a more common name or had attended a different university? These what-if scenarios help pinpoint potential biases in the hiring process.
So it's not just about identifying problems, but also understanding why they exist. Where else might we see similar principles applied?
Interestingly, the field of causality applies counterfactual reasoning heavily. While it might not always be for fairness, it is about identifying cause and effect using similar what-if scenarios. For example, in medicine, evaluating if a treatment has been effective by considering what would have happened if the patient had not received it. Fascinating connection, right?
Absolutely fascinating. It's all about understanding the alternate path not taken. What practical advice would you give to someone wanting to implement counterfactual reasoning?
Firstly, clearly define the decision-making process you are evaluating. Secondly, identify potential sensitive attributes like race, gender, or location that could lead to bias. And thirdly, use tools or frameworks that automate counterfactual analysis. There are several open-source options available now.
Great. Any final thoughts on counterfactual reasoning?
It's a powerful tool for building fairer systems, but it requires careful consideration and ethical awareness. Don't just blindly apply the techniques, always think about the real-world impact.
Excellent advice. That's all the time we have for today on Universal Principles. Thanks for sharing your expertise. And thank you for listening. Join us next time as we explore another fascinating principle. Until then, keep asking what if.